Hi everyone, in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to change your bash prompt permanently. So first, we need to know where is the configuration for the bash prompt, right? And do take note that every user has their own unique .bash rc or .bash login file, right? So as you can see, I'm in my root user. If I go to pwd, which is the directory, home directory of root, if we do a ls -l, you will see nothing. But if you want to see a hidden file, you can do a list plus all to show all files including hidden file. You'll see that .bash rc is in the home directory of root. So I've already done changes to my root prompt, so you can see it's usually different. Now let's switch over to the demo user for this tutorial. As you can see, the default prompt looks like this for usual Linux bash prompt. So in this tutorial, I'm showing you prompt for Ubuntu 22.04. Okay, so different Linux distribution have different syntax, different folder structure, right? There are some nuances, but the base concept and idea is the same, right? So now let's go to my home directory. You can actually do a cd /$home as well, and you can see that we will get to the home/demo, which is our home or user directory, right? If we do a ls -l, we can see that there's nothing there. If I do a ls minus all, right, I can see that I have a hidden bash rc file. So where we need to change is, let's do a cat to display the .bash rc, and let's grab ps1. You can see that these are the prompts that we are interested in. So let's go in to Nano. Okay, you can use any text editor. Sorry, it's a bad habit. Okay, you can see that we will be brought into the .bash rc config file, right? This sets the environment for your user for non-login shell, right? So I've logged in as the user. This is the scene. There are quite a fair bit of changes, you can do in the bash rc. Your environment, your path, your alias can all be set in this file. What we're interested in is this section, right? Generally, they have a condition or a check to see whether if it's a color prompt, right? Whether the terminal support the current color prompt. If yes, you will usually select this, right? If it's not, then it becomes like this, right? Quite removing all the colors scheme. So if you're using xterminal, likewise, this will be the prompt. So usually for SSH login, you will be actually using this prompt. So that's where we want to change. Now there's something unique I realized about Cloud Ubuntu is when you try to change the root prompt, you need to change the non-color prompt as well. I've not figured out yet. It seems that for root user, by default, it uses the non-color prompt. So in this tutorial, we're going to show you how to change the prompt for the user demo. You can ignore the change root command or the syntax here is used for changing your root directory. So we're not going to touch this, right? We'll leave it as default. Now what we are interested in is this part, right? Which is actually going to be what is shown in your prompt itself. The slash open square bracket denotes a start of a escape sequence. It's always a good practice to use that for color sequence. /033 is actually represents /e. So you will see some of the prompts using /e and /033 interchangeably. So we're not going to change this to /e. We're going to use the default value, right, which is /033, and this part denotes the full color scheme. So you can check out my blog. I have the basic options that are available, what values or what string represent what color. So this by default, I believe, represents 032 represents green. So we're going to change this color, move over to the color side, right? So /033/e. 01 stands for bold, 00 stands for normal, and then followed by 32m, which is green. So I want to change this to red. So 31m denotes red, and then 01 bold. I want it to be bold. For my /u, which stands for user, I want to separate the @ with my /h, right? /user. I want to separate /user with and host name /h with the character at, right? So that we can see the difference of user and host, right? I want to also change the color, right? So one thing that you will see very common is the slash open square bracket followed by slash 033 square bracket 00M, right? So then slash square bracket, right? The exit sequence. So this part here will end the color, right? And set it to default system color for the range that you're going to set. So I'm going to set red for user, but I want to have add as a default system color so I can show the difference. What I need to do is slash open square bracket to start the escape sequence, followed by slash 033 square bracket 00M, and then close the escape sequence with slash square bracket, right? And then now I would have red as well as @ in system color, right? So if you look at the default syntax, let's go out. Okay, the good news is that you will still see the default colors, right? If you do not refresh the bash prompt, right? So default demo, which is my user, @ which is the separator that I'm using, and then the host name, which is Draco Cyber Linux, is in green, right? So let's head back to the bash prompt again. Now, if we go back here, you can see that I'm going to change this to red, right? From 3.1 to 3.2, and then I'm going to have the default the separator as default color. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change. Actually, let's do one thing, right? I'm not going to do red for my user. Okay, we can keep it as red. And then now I want to keep my host name as green. So what I need to do is slash square bracket 033 square bracket 01 bowl semicolon followed by 32M, which is green in color. Close the escape sequence for host, right? And then we'll end the color scheme. Next, you will see I have a separator, right? Colon, and this will take system color because I've closed the color sequence with this 00M. Okay, now the next color that I'm going to set is for /w. /w is the option for the current working directory. There's always slight difference between capital and small letters. I want to see what directory I'm in. I'm going to keep it as /w and then having it a color of 34, and 34 is green. Sorry, 34 is blue. So we're going to have it in the standard blue color in the color template. And then I'm going to go over here. Let's make this a little bit smaller so you can see. Make it smaller. Okay, so and then I've closed the color here, and then you can see that followed by a slash $sign. So this is also an option available in bash prompt. What it represents is that if it's a normal user, you will use a $sign at the end of the prompt, and then if it's a root user, you will see a hex sign. Okay, I'll show you that nuance later. Okay, but this is the color scheme, the syntax that I want to do, right? So dollar. So in a lot of the tutorial video, I like to keep my prompt separated from what I'm showing. So I can do a /n, which is new line, to the new line, so I can, separate my text. It's easier for my cut and paste. And if I'm doing remarks and comment, it's easier. So I'm gonna add that. And what I like to do is also adding a line, a new line, a line separator when I start my prompt. Right, so I can add a /n here. So once that's done, for Nano, I do a Control-X, save the buffer, write to the file. So now to change the prompt, what we can do is to use the source, right? So we want to take the bash default config, or to load the bash config, which we have just changed for the current session, right? Or for the current SSH terminal session. So what I'm going to do is source, right? You can do a tilde / with .bashrc, or you can do a full path, which is /home/demo/ .bashrc, right? So once we do this, what it will do is it will apply the configuration in .bashrc, right? And you can see that I've changed the color to red. There is some error for my host name. Therefore, you can see that instead of printing the color, I'm actually printing this. I'm pretty sure I left out a forward slash for this. Okay, so that's how you change, right? So let's go back to my bash rc. Okay, so as you can see, let's go over here and look at where my error is. True enough, I have left out the backward slash over here, right? So syntax are very important, right? And they are all case sensitive, so do take note. So let's save this. And then now I'm going to do a source, right? So tilde forward slash, which stands for the current home, the home directory for this user, followed by .bash rc. Okay, and you can see that now I have the right prompt. Okay, so that's how easy it is to change the prompt, right? So what I like to do is once I've done this, I usually just copy and paste for all my users. Always take note, each bash rc file is used for each user, right? There are a lot of other ways you can set a default environment, using the default environment for all your users, etc., etc. So play around with it to see what makes it easy for you, right? So for me, I like to have various nuances for various Linux machine for my demo. So, I tend to do it a little bit more manually, right? I usually copy the bash rc file because they're usually the same. And then, I just make any alias environmental variable changes or bash shell variable changes in the .bash rc file itself. Okay, so like I was saying, the slash dollar sign denotes dollar for normal user. Now, if I change to root, you can see that not set password for root because it is I did not set the root password. Not to worry, we can still use the sudo minus interactive. Then I just need to set my password. Okay, so I've not set password for root because I do not allow root login, right? So therefore you'll see that error. You can see that for root, the prompt is hex, right? So the backward slash dollar sign has this effect, right? So you know when it is a root user and when it's not a root user, just because I might not show my user in some of my tutorial. Now, before you go in to change your prompt permanently, right, you can always use the ps1 equals to slash command just to see how your prompt will look like, right? So if I do a demo slash E36M, right? If I don't specify 00 or 01 in front for bold, it will default set to normal text dollar. And let's see, right? So you can see that this is my root prompt. I have demo, right, which is a custom text. You can always do that. So I tend to do that custom text for various Linux instance, various tutorial. So easier for me. I can actually use just PS1 to temporarily change it. Now the difference when you do this is that when you log out and you log in again, right, the prompt will be reset to the permanent configuration in your bash rc file, right? So you can see I've temporarily changed the root prompt. Now if I do a su to demo, right, you can see the dollar prompt, right, and the hex prompt, you can see the difference. Now if I do a sudo minus I back, you can see that it is hex prompt, and you will realize that the temporary prompt I've set earlier has changed, right? So hopefully this tutorial is useful. The reason I do this is because for a lot of the YouTuber like me, right, when I'm starting off with doing YouTube channel videos, and I do a lot with the Linux console. I always wanted to customize my console. Either I'm trying to hide information, I'm trying to emphasize my website name, or I'm trying to name the tutorial using my prompt, right? This is some very useful and basic information for you to make your prompt a little bit more interesting, a little bit more lively, not the dull single color prompt that you usually see. Okay, so that's all for this short and quick tutorial. I hope you find this tutorial useful, and stay tuned for more video. Thank you.